Ladies and gentlemen, our Chief Finance Officer, Sir Francis Miguel! Yan lang ba mga palakpak nyo? More!
Thank you, George. Palakpakan natin, Georgian Gonzalez. Thank you. Palakpakan naman natin. Give him a big round of applause. Thank you, George. There are some few seats that you can sit on, lalo na yung mga nasa labas pa, papasukin mo. Because my topic is so important because after my speech, your life will never be the same again, I'm sure. This is my second time in Paris, and I have seen few distributors, and I observed over the last 2 days that some of them are already in their matte finish. Last year, they were oily. They were like not smiling. Today, they're smiling, they're sparkling. Last night, we had a gala night. It's the most annoying, happily, lovely group that I ever met in the entire world. Huh? And I can never lie to you because I always say that to other groups also. Don't worry. Are you having fun? Some can I see the first timers? Welcome. You're from Belgium. Palakpakan natin. Give him a big warm welcome. Palakpakan natin. Woo! Yan. Okay. By show of hands, who are the first timer that okay, from UK. Palakpakan natin ulit. Okay, where are you from, gentlemen? Congo. Congo, wow. And the wife and also the baby? Wow. Okay, we're successful over there in Africa. They are like Filipinos also, very hopeful and resilient. That's why they make it in a short period of time, they become very successful. They're also dreamers, like Filipinos. They are all over the world. Africans. Right? See? Filipinos are also scattered all over the world. Why? Because we're dreamers. We want to have a good life, right? No excuses. We all do some sacrifices. But today, this is another source. If you make a salary today, like a monthly income, good news for you because you can now have another source. So that when you grow old, your drum will be full of money. You retire young and rich. Do you agree? Over the last 10 years, we're so successful. I have to correct Jurgen because we don't have 1 million. He lied because we are almost 3 million. Huh? That's a correction because this is happening so fast. Okay? And last year, the payout that I paid last year were over 2.5 billion. That's only the payout. Okay? Palakpakan natin. And I want you to have a piece of those payout, maybe a 1% or maybe 0.5% this year, making extra $50,000 a year will make a lot of difference nowadays, right? While others are sleeping, we are working. Because to come time soon, others are still working while we are all day we can sleep. We can have more quality time with your family. You like that? Yes. You like that? Yes. Bakit para ang tagal nyo magpalakpak? No reaction, ha? 10 and a half years ago when I met Doc Ed for the first time, he was so excited. He rolled out his sleeves and Francis, let's do the work. And I heard his mission. And he said, let's create a company that would last forever. Let's create a company that more distributors can become like us. Financially free, successful, and more time with family. But wait, I asked him, what will be the products? No product yet. Okay, let's go home. Okay? So we meet again 1 a.m. in the morning the following week. Okay, back to square one. I asked him, what are the products that we're going to offer? And he said, no product yet. Okay, let's go home again. And then after a month, I asked him once again, okay, do you have an idea of what products we're going to sell worldwide? Nothing yet. So came September and October, no products yet. Because for your information, Doc Ed come from other company. Mr. John Aspirin is my downline. So we're three gentlemen with more than 2 decades of experience. So it's the right time to put up a company because during those times, 2005, for your info, there's a lot of pyramiding companies. There's a lot of company that fall out. There's a lot of company promises and so here and there, but after 3 months when they make sale, they close shop. And it's hurting because this is the industry that we love. This is the industry that changed our lives. So we don't want to have a bad issues with our industry. So we have to save this industry. And when I heard that words coming from Doc Ed, okay, this guy is serious. So October came, then there's Nature's Way. But we cannot claim that the product is good, right? Because there is no yet testimony. I even asked my wife to let her use first. Why me? Not me. If there's a side effect, you first. I still have doubt with the products, right? So that when it has the overdose, at least I'm not the victim. You are my wife, so you go ahead, right? Ladies first, right? Later October, there's one lady named Andrea. I can never forget her. She's a cancer patient. She has 4-stage cancer. I think I said that last year. But I will never forget her because it's clearly vivid in my mind until today. We are not big today if that for not that lady testimony. She was bold because after the chemo, all the hair, and she cannot eat because her tongue is somewhat nasunog na. Tapos, no taste buds, no, he cannot eat. She loses about 12 pounds a week because of her illness. So her parents, the doctor said, you better bring home your child because whether she's in the hospital or in the home still, she wouldn't last for the next 90 days. So the parents still hope because she's still alive, she's still fighting, and she keep searching for a product that could, prolong the life of her daughter. So she listens to radio, read newspapers, search the internet, go to Quiapo, buy the herbal products, anything that would help, her daughter. Okay? And the additional problem was there is a 8-centimeter mass on her back. This is 4 centimeter. So you have to double it, this size. A large mass that the doctors cannot bring it out because there will be a big hole on her back. Okay? And one day, she heard our product in the radio station. Narinig niyo ba yung Radio Veritas? Okay, Radio Veritas was launching our product, helping them exchange deal every 3 p.m. So the parents were working in the government. They avail of the retirement so they can pay the bills in the hospital. It's about the bill were 2 million. Okay, and since we have some few samples. Oh, by the way, when she heard about the product, they walk in the radio station, and the commentator gave them for something free. It's the complete. Okay, so he administered 3 capsules 3 times a day, morning, lunch, and then dinner. Because the daughter, the lady cannot eat. Okay, and came November, last week of November, she went home, and she began to have an appetite to eat. And she has this positive atmosphere going on. She thinks positive, and he asked her mom that, "Mom, can I go back to school this coming June?" And the mother said quietly, "How can I say yes? Because I knew she can only be lasting until February." And she said, she said yes pa rin, no? And came this December, I saw her in one of the club, accidentally. Because she's wearing what do you call this? Scarf, because there's no hair. Okay? And I said, "Oh, you're here. You are not supposed to go in places like this for smoke and, plus it's late night. You should be resting." And he said, "Well, I feel okay. All my friends are here. And my mom is there inside the club. They're listening to one of the stand-up comedy bar." And January came. We're not launched yet. We're still, gathering some testimonies. You have to listen to this because this is the history of AIM Global. Or is it okay? Yes. It will take 6 hours, don't worry. And January came. There's another follow-up checkup. Ladies and gentlemen, after the results, the 8 centimeter, the first thing that the doctor noticed was the lady is gaining weight. It's a good one. Palakpakan nyo naman. She gains appetite. That's the second one. And the third one, after showing the results, the doctor can't believe that the 8 centimeter mass he saw 3 months ago became 1 centimeter. So it became smaller and smaller. And I said to Doc Ed, let's launch this company. Let's launch it. So March came, March 18, I cannot forget that. We have only few people, about less than 200 when we launched it. And the audience were generals, colonels, because we are launching it in Camp Aguinaldo. It's a camp of military during those days. And guess what? Our main testimony was Andrea. And she said, that was March. She supposedly began in February, right? And you know what? She extended her life. March, April came, June came, July, August, September, October. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the first year of AIM Global. And that history alone made us what we are today. Our first year, the sales were 139 million. Take note of that. Second year, 200 million. Because the product is so working tremendously. Everybody were having testimonies here and there, from arthritis to sugar count to the products are helping everyone. We don't claim that the products are medicines, but if you use it religiously, it becomes therapeutic. Do you agree? Yes. Everybody knows ampalaya is good, but there are no scientific, research, right? But you use it regularly, it will help your sugar level, controlled sugar level, right? Yes. So that's how our history was made. And 3 years after, even the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the tax, BIR, was shocked why there is a global recession and your company keeps growing. And I think it's not, we are growing. The company is growing despite of the global. Pwede mo paki-silent mode nyo mga phone nyo, nakakaya naman sa mga magseryoso. And the BIR finally asked, what's going on with your company? And I said, I don't know. The products may be good. You buy it. Try it. It lowers down your blood pressure. If you work in the government, your blood pressure always high. Right? You try it. And there's a lot of coffee break. That's why they are, have this nervous breakdown. You try our coffee as well. So that's the history. And last year, guys, our sales was more than 5 billion last year. And more than half of that went to the distributors. And there's no sign of stopping. My partners, especially Doc Ed, he's the guy I want to follow. He's really a leader. He's a CEO, and he controls the boat. He's the captain. And you know why? Well, last year when I reported the sales, Doc, our sales reached 5 billion. And he said, okay, so let's celebrate. I said, okay, just go, and I have to do something for betterment of the marketing plan. Can you imagine? 10 years, no celebration for us? Huh? That's why my eye bags now is like pisngi to me. Reach down this line. So, especially John Aspirin. Oh, by the way, before I forgot, his mother was here. Mami Zelda, where are you? Palakpakan natin. To represent his son. Okay? Without you, Mami Zelda, John would be in this world. So, 30% of our success came from you. Okay? And of course, yung pamangkin. Palakpakan natin. So, we're still working. That's why it's called Alliance in Motion. Very active, right? We're still young. And we keep younger. I cannot stop my age. I'm 46, but I only look 45. Younger, right? And even if you do it part-time, even if you start part-time, I started part-time. Way back 23 years ago, I worked in a communications company. I'm a computer engineer. Okay? My father sponsored me. My father invited me to attend the seminar. At first, I was, reluctant because I don't want to be involved in sales. I hate rejections. Because, I was good looking and I hate rejection. Okay? And, and we were only 4 on my first seminar. Sorry, 6. 4 on the right side and 2 on the left. My father sit down and sat beside me. And the 4 other gentlemen there, well, they just eat the pastry and sip the juice and then they walk out before even the seminar started. So can you imagine my dilemma? We're only 2 guys in the seminar room. So I can never walk out because when I reach home, I can still see my father again. Hey, he will be inviting me again, right? And finally, I have to save my face. Okay, I'm gonna see this opportunity. And he keeps telling me now, you know what? I've been employed for 30 years, son, and I saw everything. We don't have any shelter. We don't have any car. We still have, we're still in debt. So I still don't listen. But after the seminar, there's a testimony, a young lady, a lady named Josie. Josie, I never forget the lady. Her name was Josie. And she showed me a check, 100,000 pesos. Well, in peso, that's about 2,000 euro. Okay? 100,000. Well, 20 years ago, 100,000 is quite big, right? Well, until today, in the Philippines, still big. So I realized that the money that she make in a month, I have to work at that for a year. So I begin to swallow my pride. There's something going on. They're doing it right. He's only a high school graduate. How come never been employed? He's a housewife and showing me 100,000 check. High school graduate only. And I said to my dad, Dad, you should have not enrolled me in college. High school pa lang, pwede na palang yumaman. So I ate my pride. And my life never been the same. But the first mistake that I made was never attending too much seminars and training. Why? Because I have this attitude of I know everything. That's why my first 90 days, it was so crucial, I don't have any downlines. All my friends, like NFL, no friends left. No more friends. And I asked my dad, are we going to be rich? I have no more friends. I invited them, nobody showed up. I tried to ask their time and show them the opportunity, and he said, okay, Francis, if you get wealthy, we can, join you. If you get your first car, we can maybe look second time. And guess what? Jurgen is right. Have you heard this first training? He said, you must know why. Why did you sign up? I know my whys. My mom used to be working as an OFW also. My mom is a DH in Hong Kong. So I know my whys. And my father began to tell me that, son, who knows, this might be the break. This might be the chance that we can have our own house, have our own car. And you know what? I don't understand what he's saying. But when he said, you know what, this may be the time and chance, we can let your mama go back for good. And I know he's serious. I never heard those words before. So I cannot say to dad na, okay, alam mo na yan, malaki ka na. I cannot say that, right? So I begin to study the business opportunity, do part-time. Part-time, during lunch break, after office hours, every day. And I begin to attend trainings. Like Georgian trained you a while ago. Those are the training that we used 23 years ago. And still working until today. So after 8 months, I fired my boss. I asked him to have a meeting. Boss, you know what? You're fired. Because during that time, I already make 5 times of my salary doing the business part-time. And I break my first million and then so on and so forth. And I got great good news for you guys. If you want to be rich or multiply your income, you should multiply your skills. If you're a nurse graduate and you have a job, and once you get fired, sorry, but you only have nursing skills. So you're jobless forever. But if you have multiple skills, like you have AIMWorld, you know how to present, you know how to speak in front and train people, you have now multiplying your skills. Right? So I went full-time 8 months later and my life never been the same. Kaya kung ako tatanungin nyo, this is now the best opportunity while you're still young to create your own future. Just do 3 years only, seriously. Because even you can start part-time, right? You can start part-time. One of these days, you're going to sponsor another person part-time, and he's going to sponsor a guy going to do it full-time. So it's like saying you're doing business full-time. You know the leverage word, you know the leverage? It's multiplying your time through others, like McDonald's is doing, like successful, Lafayette is doing. Like all the businesses that are so successful, they use the law of leverage. And I asked my dad, because he's an accounting graduate, with colors. He's a Dean's Lister and a summa cum laude of accounting. So I asked him, Dad, what is leverage? Leverage, anak. Son, leverage is the rich, successful businessmen do that poor businessmen don't. Like when we put up restaurant, McDonald's came by, we're gone. So they understand the law of leverage. And that's the secret to wealth. Palakpakan naman natin. When I understood that, I became rich. But there are 4 gears. When you drive your car, just follow the simple fundamentals. It's like driving a car. Lahat ba kayo, you know how to drive? Not all, right? You have to, face your fears in driving. I remember when you learn, the first day that you learn to drive, it's confusing because there's a lot of things going on, right? You have to watch in front of you. You have the wiper, you have the first gear, second gear, third gear. There's a radio and aircon. There's also a clutch brake, and they only have 2 feet, and then you have 3 something going on there, and there's a side mirror, the back view. Everything is going, all at the same time, right? That's why sometimes you get fear. But once you get started, it tends to continue, right? One day you're starting, you're not looking even anymore. Sometimes you text. Sometimes you can kiss with your date while driving, while texting, and while, sending messages to the FB. All at the same time, right? So meaning, anything that you do, especially if you're a first-timer, there are fear, there are doubts. But if you tend to continue, it becomes automatic. It becomes your second nature. Tama ba? Tama ba? So I want you to check this first gear. There are 4 gears. First gear. First gear, contact your warm market. Everyone say warm market. Why? This is very... Tatlo lang sumagot. Siya sabong? Yun lang alam ko. Naintindihan niyo ba yung sinasabi ko? Yung mga nasa taas. O tingin niyo sa akin, siopaw na. Okay, first gear, warm market. Everybody say warm market. Warm market. This is important. Why? Because these are your friends. These are your acquaintances. These are the people that, belongs to your circle or atmosphere. You meet them once a day or maybe every day or during doing your routines. This is very important that you invite these people. You share the opportunity. You share the products. Why? Because this is your first break. This is your first paycheck if they join you. Tama ba? Yes. Warm market, relatives. That's why I encourage everyone to talk to not only Filipinos. Even if you are a Baroque in English, even the Italians also talk Baroque English, don't worry. I tried it. Pareho pala, mas lalo palang nagkakaintindihan pag Baroque. Tama? Do you agree? And most successful aimers, they expand globally because they break the fear of talking to other cultures. Like African friends here, I'm sure Filipinos invited you, right? Or your upline is a Filipino? Oh, see? So that's the start of something big. Who knows? You might be the first millionaire in Congo. We will never realize that until you start, spreading, sharing the opportunity while you're here. You don't have to go to Congo and sponsor people. You use the internet. Do you agree? Yes. During our time, there were no internet, no cell phones. By doing a prospecting, you have to spend at least a day to talk to one person. There's no communication. When the speaker said, okay, you start to invite, I have to go to their house. And only to find out they don't live there anymore. 3 months ago. I never notified. So you see, communications today is a worldwide thing. You can do it faster. That's why Have you noticed the second lady who works in Hong Kong, named May Agustin? She started part-time. And not during, because his boss is kind of, strict, so she has to do it in the comfort room or in the toilet, as long as there's Wi-Fi. And a few months later, he began to make 800,000 a month. And even in AIM Global family, we were all surprised where that lady came from. Because out of the blue, she became a top earner. So I then realized over the last 4 years, this is the era now of information technology. You don't have any excuses now to get rich. All of the things are available in the internet. Search the Google. That's the master of all things. You can learn how to speak. You can learn how to cook. You can, also how... You try to search how to kill a boyfriend. Yeah, you can search in Google. There are 69 ways also. See? You don't have to ask people, right? So first gear, warm market. These are your parents. That's why I encourage everybody, if you have family in back home that keep asking money from you, you better stop sending money back because you better teach them how to fish also. Tama ba? From now on, no more Western Union. You have to attend the seminar. Ang ganda, no? Magandang deal yan, di ba? Tama? Para hindi lang tayo ang nahihirapan. Di ba? Filipinos are really, closely knit with their families. Sometimes you make money here, but when they text you that they need to pay electricity, tuition fee, shopping, grocery, sometimes you panic. Diba? Maglo-loan ka there, here and there, and then you're gonna send money back to the family. Why not? This is the time to teach them how to fish also. So that when we retire, the drum is full. Because mostly, based on my experience, like my mother did, she worked like 12 years as an OFW, no savings. Why? Because every month, I text him, I call him, we call him, Nama, we need some food, we need electricity, my books, we need to buy books. Every month, she makes a way to send money. And when she get back home, no savings. Why is that? It's because all depends on the salary. Do you agree?
Yes.
Maganda bang deal yun?
Yes.
Mga kapwa ko Filipino. Ha? Teach them how to fish instead of sending them every month. Okay? These are your warm market. This is the reason also that my father, when he learned that talk to your warm market, the first guy that he invited was me. And it took him 2 years for me to attend the seminar because I was still studying during that time. I graduated 1994. And he started 1991. So every time that he invited me in the seminar, I always have excuses. Until one day, all my excuses are being used already. And finally, I said yes. But I said to him, I have to start part-time. I have this, work in PLDT. So he also asked me to list down the warm market. So siyempre, pag warm market, these are my relatives too, right? And guess what? All they said, my uncle and my auntie said, oh, your father already showed me the opportunity. I know that already. So I begin to move to my cold market. But first, all my classmates in high school, in college, more of them said yes. But when they had to put action on it, they have all the excuses like, it's not my line, I don't like sales, it's not my job, I'm an engineer graduate, I don't have time. Is that a pyramiding? I cannot go full-time because, no, they have so many excuses. But today, when they see me becoming a billionaire, everybody asks me, how did you do it? And I said, well, I have no time. I say back the excuses, okay? So, it doesn't matter if people don't believe you, just keep going. Get that momentum going. Okay ba yun? That's your first gear. Because you cannot go to the second gear, shifting to the second gear after you start the car, right? You have to go with the first gear and before the second gear. So this is your second gear. What's that? Your cold market. Everybody say cold market. So this is the time that you have to make calling cards and, you are now honing your skills. Because during the cold market momentum, I should be seeing you at least making 1,000 to 2,000, part-time euro every month. Because you Your warm market, the first gear was, that's tend to be your practice days. Practice. Talk to your friends, it's just practicing the presentation. Practice. Everybody say practice. So when you move to cold market, you know what to do now. Okay? Over the last 3 days that we were here, we tried to talk to people that we don't know. And guess what? They all smile. The next thing is, I asked, how's your family? What country you came in? And I mean, where's your family? I began to make conversation. Then eventually they asked my number. They asked my calling card. Because I asked them, aside from your salary, what are other sources that you have? And they said, no, I don't have other sources. Oh, you can start part-time. Where are you from? Oh, from, what country is that? George, yung waiter natin? In Africa? Ano ba yun? It's hard to pronounce. Yung waiter natin sa Sofitel? The black guy. Ano pangalan niya? Gabor? Gabong. Gabong. Yeah, he's from Gabon. Right? And I asked Rhoda to sponsor him. So everybody wants an extra income. Is that the right approach? Do you agree? Yes. Okay. Let's now move to the third gear. Third gear is somewhat, at least I should be seeing you making at least 3,000 to 5,000, additional extra income. And this is already the momentum stage, like what you're doing now. Last year, we were on a planting stage. Today, we have few people that achieve some recognition like silver and gold. So this is now on the third gear. Everybody say third gear. This is now when we are building and leading your team. That's how it requires consistent. We showed up last year, now we're showing up again. This is very crucial to your business. You should be consistent. Even if distributors get discouraged along the way, still you have to show up. Why? Because we are now putting a good and better foundation. We have to stabilize. We have to be stabilized in this area so that other people will ask, how come last year you were here and then you're here again and then next year announcing that you'll be back again? That's consistency. Do not follow the company that they come here now and then they're gone later. There's no momentum being created. Tama ba? Yes. Tama ba? So this is now the time that you can build and lead your team. How can we build and lead our team? It's very simple. If you capture the training of George, that's the third gear. Okay? That's the third gear of training. And you can insert your own experience, your own story. And later on, this will be the world-class story in the next future. Stick to your story. Okay? Yes. Tama ba? Yes. Tama ba means, do you agree? Yun. Okay? Third gear. Now, your income is determined, again, this is determined by the value you bring to your team and to your company through your team's effort. So this is now the time that you have a group. Okay? And the money that you make will always depend upon your leadership. Because some new members will come and they will ask you all the questions. What are the products? What are the website? And this now that you're now leading your team. Especially you're in a remote, far away from Philippines. But don't worry. Internet's here. We can always communicate 24/7. Tama ba? Tama ba? You can always ask questions to Georgian. You can ask email. You can, you can even ask for mentorship. Just know my email is francis.miguel2013@yahoo.com. It's very simple. Okay? All the 20 years experience will be shared to you. Okay ba yun? And some even ask, Francis, now that we're very successful, what's next? That's a good question. Now that we are billionaire, what's next? Oh, that's a good question. Huh? I'm still studying it, okay? Don't worry. At least now's the time. The money is not a problem anymore. The problem is how you're going to spend it. Diba? Maganda ba yun? Ha? Gusto ko yun. I like that question. Okay. Everybody say, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I should be seeing you. A leader, okay. Everybody say. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. When I first met Jurgen, his upline said, upline FM. There's a guy right there, Dean's Lister, scholar during college days. He's a book reader. He's a potential leader that can lead a large organization. He works in a Philippine National Oil Company. He's wearing blue on that right corner. Can we talk to him after the seminar? And I said, yes. Start building me up. Don't build him up. Instead, build me up. So the sponsor went back to the seat of Jurgen. When I met Jurgen for the first time, when I met him, I already feel the energy, the excitement, and he's really hunger for knowledge. He asks so many questions because we're mirroring each other because I'm an engineer, he's an engineer, right? So we match. Tama ba? And I sat down, okay, let's have coffee. I discussed to you our future. And the rest history, guys. 20 years after, we still work together. See? I have only few people, but there are good ones. Good looking also. I sponsored 1,300. I invited everybody. 1,300 plus minus. 200 showed up. 50 joined. Only 9 made it to the top and became a millionaire. That's made me a billionaire. So only few will join you. But don't worry that those 9 lines, we can easily accommodate the biggest dome back home in the Philippines. So only few good people, huh? And Jurgen is one of them. Okay ba yun? So even a small guy, I have bigger goals, bigger than this building. So don't ever think that even if you're small, you cannot move mountains. Look at me. Huh? I don't work hard, I work smart. Okay? That's why I always apply the SW next. What is that? Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Just keep searching. Keep talking to, numbers game. Don't stick to 2 and then you quit if they don't join. Tama ba? Because somewhere out there, there's always a guy who's waiting and more potential than you. Just, keep numbering. Okay ba yun? So when I saw George for the first time, I know that this guy will duplicate me. And soon enough, 6 months later, he became a member of Millionaires Club. Palakpakan nyo naman. And today is the most sought after best speaker in the country. He's one of the highest paid speaker in the Philippines. So that, most companies envied us because Jurgen is in AIM Global. He's one of the best speaker. Alam nyo ba yun? He's already reached thousands under his organization to become a Millionaires Club. He's so effective that until today he's really, working, the things that you heard a while ago, these are the things that we heard 20 years ago and still working today. And next week we will be in Africa. One guy that excites me is Mr. John Aspirin. I don't know where the energy came from. Maybe his mother here. Palakpakan naman natin. Mami Zelda. Hindi ko alam paano mo pinanganak si John, pero, yun yung araw na hindi na natin makakalimutan for the rest of our lives. Because, my partner, John Aspirin, is also my downline before. And I think the excitement came from Engr. I don't know where. I don't know. That's why he called himself Mr. Excitement. Namit nyo na ba siya? Hindi pa. You can search the website or maybe yung online training niya. Okay? Because he's the guy who went crazy. When I first met him, after schooling, when he graduated, he got networking immediately. He never been employed. Why? That's why he called himself Mr. Excitement, right? He's excited about his dreams. So he owns few commercial buildings in Cubao, and he's very successful even at a young age. That's why I want you also to meet that guy. Maybe next year. Or maybe if you have extra income or extra money, you can come and visit us in the Philippines. Let's have fun. Tama ba? Because this is something big. You have to, instead of making a vacation back home, the same people anyway, the same place that you meet, why not a little bit of change? Like come to our anniversary this coming mid-year, so that you meet those people that I showed you in the video and shook hands with them and maybe take some picture, and one day you can make this a marketing tool. I met this guy, that's him, right? Sometimes you have to do that. Kaya nag-aaral kayo, pumupunta kayo ng Manila para mag-aral. Some of you even, go to a large city to study. So why not do it again at AIM Global? Because this is the time that you're now, creating your fortune for the future. Take a break. Or maybe you can stay in my resort. It's free, don't worry. If you slash me that you came from Paris, France, I won't charge you. Yeah, all the members of AIM Globals, I don't charge them. As long as they are members, you can swim all day, you can eat all day. There's also a zip line. And sometimes those zip lines snap if you are a negative thinker. Okay? It's free. I don't charge AIM Global people. We have a big resort in Bulacan, and it's designed for team building, water sports, and you can celebrate all the, whatever function you're thinking. But as long as you come to the Philippines, I can cancel my time. Maybe John and Doc will be with you also, so that we can tour you to our manufacturing and you can stay in my resort. For free, no charge. Okay? Okay ba yun? Okay ba yun? Okay. And of course, the last one is fourth gear. Everybody say fourth gear. Fourth gear, this is the what we call the momentum stage, that you do less and less, but you make big, big money. You're working less, but still your income is going higher and higher. That's the thing that we want you to achieve, the fourth gear. This is now what we call developing leaders. Everybody say developing leaders. This is what separates from a superstar from the average ball player, is that he concentrates just a little bit longer. You put like 2 hours on 3 hours every day, you can create a momentum. And then it become a habit until it become your character. And it become your destiny. You know that inch by inch movement? Then you can become expert. So this is now my craft. Over the last 20 years, this is now my expertise. And I think this will be passed on to the next generation and the next generation. I don't have any businesses but only this one. I concentrate on this one. That's why all my effort, my energy, my time, so that my next generation will follow suit. I don't see any good, better business than AIM Global. If you're a billionaire, you can put up McDonald's, you can put any businesses, but I can never compare the income that we make in AIM Global compared to traditional businesses. Believe me. Trust me. I saw my parents went bankrupt 3 times. When I was grade 5, they have this bus operation, the transportation business. And then soon enough, they cannot pay the mortgage. So the bank, elites everything. So my father tried to manage their construction. We belong to one of the rich family in back north. My grandparents has this construction business. But because of health issues, my grandmother got heart attack. You know what? All the businesses gone. And our economic life didn't get any better. That's why my mom and my father went to Manila, which is the city of opportunity. And then my father started to work as a salesman. And my mother, during that time, I was grade 5, started to work in abroad because we had difficulty making ends meet. I witnessed 3 businesses all went down. With more the capital, the experience, and the risk. Because today, Philippines not yet developed. Why? Simply because it's like saying that you're swimming with sharks. Like SM, Ayala, or these are the giants in the Philippines. They make more money, and that makes them more richer because, halos lahat kanila ni Pilipinas. So if you're devising a plan that you'll soon be putting up a traditional business, I don't encourage you. Because it's like swimming with sharks. You put tadpole in the aquarium, what will happen if there's a big fish inside? They will eat you up alive, right? That's what happened to the restaurant of my father. All the retirement money put up in a restaurant. Only to find out later, there's a McDonald's nearby. Then I said, Father, you only have 28 days to sleep because 28 days na lang may Jollibee na daw. You left and right, McDonald's and Jollibee. Sabi ko, palitan mo na yung karatula. Change the name. Put it main entrance. Because nobody's eating anymore in a restaurant. And one fateful day, his upline, his former boss, called him and said, Tony, my father's name's Tony. Tony, we are soon gonna be richer. Close your restaurant and let's do network marketing. And the rest is history. I've seen all these things. That's why if you have a capital, a small money, you don't have to, risk it in a traditional business. Sayang. Tago mo na lang sa pera mo sa banko. Maybe it can earn some interest and spend the time with the family. Sayang lang yung pera mo, believe me. Network marketing, it's not all money. The equity here is sweat and time and energy. These are things are free. Right? If you get tired, just recharge. If you go low-bat, just recharge. Like a cell phone. No emotion. You know the cell phone? No emotion. If you get low-bat, just put in the plug-in. Get energized again. Do you agree? Yes. That's how I should be. That's how it should be. Should master your emotion. When you develop leaders, you have to master your emotion. So, you learned something today, huh? Yes. And the last thing that I'm going to share to you, on your fourth gear, guess what? This is now the breaking of your ice because, mostly that we handled over the last 10 years and became global ambassadors. If I'm going to tell you about their income, how much they make per year, they make a minimum of 500,000 a year when you become a top 20 of AIM Global. So this is now your fourth year. You have to develop many, many leaders. So we are blessed in Africa because they already have a little bit of leadership skills, right? Because most of them are pastors. Most of them talk to public, They're a good leader. That's why they had this sales. They overtook the Philippine sales in a matter of how many years only. And they work more than 8 hours. That's why you'll be surprised when Doc Ed will share to you later, how these Africans make money compared to us Filipinos. Tayo kasi mga Pinoy, maraming comfort zone. May time pa tayo sa teleserye. Ano nangyari kay Marian Rivera? Nanganak na? Oo, may asawa nga eh. Nauuna kasi yung chismis. Sa Africa, walang chismis. Ano pag-uusapan nila doon? Pare-pareho silang... So, that's the difference. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 questions that I want to leave to you that made me what I am today, that I am pretty sure it will also be helpful with your business. First question is why? Everybody say why. Why do you have to attend this kind of AIM Academy? Why do you have to listen to George? Why do you have to work years in studying? You begin to ask why, right? Why do you have to come here in Paris? Why you come here in Luxembourg and work? You know the answer. The second question will, you know the answer? You want to know? Okay, the second question is why not? Everybody say why not? Why not? And when people ask you, are you going to attend AIM Global Seminar? The answer is, why not? People there are talking about dreams, cars, and etc., future, and money, and millions. And the answer is, why not? Francis keep talking about Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, spaghetti, and fettuccine. Why not? Right? He talk about freedom, he talk about future. Again, why not? Right? The third question is, why not me? Everybody say, why not me? Maybe you do this part-time, even 1 hour, you inject 2 hours every day of your time, but someone out there is like me, waiting for an opportunity. And because of you, you sponsored me, and later on, I became a millionaire. So why not you? Why not me? Right? And the last question is, why not now? Everybody say, why not now? So AIM Global is here. You got to maximize it. Who knows? The next millionaire will be, you sitting out there. Why not now? Thank you. This is Francis Miguel. God bless you. We'll see you around. Back to George. Palakpakan natin! Pinanahan ako, bro.